Okay, welcome to part 3 of the video series Multiple Object Tracking in Videos using OpenCV in Python. In part 2 of this video series, we learn how to track multiple objects in a video sequence. And in part 1, we learn how to track a single object in a video. Even if you want to track multiple objects, you need a single object tracker in the first place. What I have not told you till now is how can we track objects in a live video stream, for example, using through webcam. In this particular video, the goal is, in this particular part, the goal is to save and retrieve the video annotations, the tracking annotations. But before that, I just want to spend a couple of minutes on telling you how can you track objects using a live video stream from using webcam or some camera if you want. So let's change, the change really in the code is really small. So let's go to single object tracker and change the code with respect that can adapt to our webcam. So let's go about that. So that's the code for single object tracker. To track from the webcam, maybe we need, for example, let's import some image utilities. Import mutils. So rest of the story is same. This is same. Here, if you really want a video, that's for a video. However, if you want from the webcam, the same goes to the ID of the webcam. The default ID with the built-in webcam in most of the systems is 0. So if you give 0, that means access the webcam. If you have multiple cameras, the ID will change with respect to the camera that you really want. So that will access the video stream of your webcam. And then what you do is you read the frame, you show the frame. Maybe you need to resize to fix the frames to the same size. So mutils dot resize if you really want frame width, for example, is equal to whatever value. Let's say 500 or maybe 700 or 600. Let's say that's your. And then what you do is the same stuff. So let's see, for example, that's the frame captured by my camera here, webcam in my system. I just let's say highlight this box, which is a marker box. I highlight this. I'm done. Rest of the story is again the same. What I will do is I will track everything, and now you will be. As you have seen in the first video and the second video, now you'll get more motivated towards why we really requires a key here, because now this live video stream will go on and on and on, and whenever we want to quit this tracking, we can press Q and we are good to go for that. So that's it. But before, when we read the frame, what we can do before moving on, we can resize the frame to the same size. Mutils dot resize frame with width. What width we use earlier? 600. So let's use 600. Yeah. So now if we run this code, the same code, by just a little modification that rather than a video path, we are giving ID of the camera, it will get the stream live. And everything will just be awesome. No change will be required. So let's see. If you see, for example, here, that's the video. That's the object that we really want to track. Yeah, so it is tracking very well. We can use, for example, we can use multiple objects. Again, multi-tracker. If we really want, we can use multi-tracker. We can have, let's say, yeah. Can you see that? It is awesome. It is tracking it. Yeah. So yeah. So that's about tracking. That's about tracking I mean, from the live stream, just you have, I mean, the rest of the story that you have seen in part 1 and part 2 is exactly the same. If you really want to do with the live stream, that's a little modification that you really want. Now we turn our attention to what if we really want to basically, oh, by the way, let's quit this. Let's quit this. Press Q and things will quit out. Yeah, so things quit when you press Q. Now we turn our attention to basically how can we save the annotations or tracking results and so that later we really want to access those. So let's turn our attention to the problem of, let's say we have multiple objects to track from the video or maybe from the live stream, and we want to save the results in text files maybe or in some other formats so that later on if we really want to use those results, we can use those results. So let's go about that. So for that, let's turn our attention again to tracking multiple objects. Let's say we want to track multiple objects from a video, and let's say we want to save the results in text files indexed by the frames. So for that, maybe we need NumPy. There may be several methods, but I will prefer using NumPy as NP. So let's use that. So let's initialize, maybe let's initialize 3 objects for now, or maybe 4. Let's initialize 4 objects. So we have here, let's say referee, that's our object. Let's say we initialize this particular object. Let's say we initialize this object. And let's initialize, for example, maybe this object. Why not? Let's initialize this object. So now we have all our initializations that are done. Now what we do is we basically track multiple objects, and every time we track, we get basically these boxes. So what we really do, what if we really, whenever we get these boxes, what if we save these boxes with respect to the frames we have? So we know we already have read one frame. We already have read one frame here. So the frame numbers here really starts from 2. So frame number is 2. That's the frame number. What if we want to save our results using, save these boxes using these frame numbers, and where we really want to save these results? So let's build a directory first where we really want to save these results. Let's build a directory maybe here. For example, let's say D, here results, tracking results maybe. Tracking results, yes. So let's say that's our directory where we want to save our results, basic directory. Let's say base directory where we want to save our results is, let's say, this. Yeah, so that's the basic directory where we really want to save our results. So now what we do is each time we get boxes, each time we really get boxes, these boxes, we save these boxes in a file with frame number as this one. So what we do is the following. We say, okay, np.save text, and where we want to save that text is base directory plus this, and then we have frame underscore, here we have str frame number. So that is basically, yeah, so plus .txt. So let's save this file in this name. So that is basically for frame 2 it is frame underscore 2.txt, for frame 3 it is frame 3.txt, and so on. So then we save these boxes, that's already a NumPy array that this trackers returns. And then we need to set the format, let's say fmt. That format is, let's say, floating point numbers. We need these to stay in the floating point numbers. After doing that, what we need to do update is we need to update the frame number plus equals 1. So now next time a new file with the frame number indexed will be generated and the boxes will be saved there. Now if you run this file, you will not only see the results, but probably the results will be saved in a video file. So let's run this file and see what happens. Yeah. So these are the results that you are seeing. But what we are really interested in, that all frame by frame results, they are also saved in a text file. So let's see when this video ends, we really have our results in text files or not. Yeah. So let's go for the directory. Yeah, so these are the results you see. There are 150 frames for this file that we, not 150, basically we have not included the frame one. If you open up this frame one, that's first bounding box, that's the second bounding box, that's the third bounding box, and so on. So the results are all here, saved here. Yeah. Next time you may, for example, read these results using, for example, let me read one of these results using np.load text. So for example, yeah, this one. So let's pick this one, Control C, and then go here. We can just load it like boxes is equal to np.load.txt, and I can just give this path. Oh, what's the problem here? This is not found. Results frame. Oh, I guess I have not. What's the problem here? Oh, I know what happened. I know. Yeah, I have to take that string as raw. Yeah. So now the boxes are being loaded. If you just print these boxes, these are the boxes, and you have saved these. There are several ways. I mean, if you want in binary format, or if you want in a single file with one more attribute here as a frame number or stuff like so. But the moral of the story is you can save these results, and later on you can just load these results maybe using loop, and you can display, or you can use these results for whatever post analysis you really want to do. So yeah, in this part of this video series, we discussed basically how can you access the live video stream and track the objects from there. And more primarily, basically, more importantly, we discussed how can you save these results in text files so that later on, if you really want to use these results, you can use those. So that's about it. Hope to see you next time.